Welcome back to Senior Bryce, the channel where I do stuff. Today is a very special episode to my heart, a cooking show. And on this cooking show, I'm going to be making, from scratch, my infamous butter chicken. Okay, now this is not just any ordinary butter chicken. It's good butter chicken. So stay tuned and we'll look at some food and show you how to make it. So the first part of this butter chicken is the marinade. Very important. Note to self, insert picture of marinade. So the first ingredient that we're going to be needing with the marinade, which is the main base, is a half cup of plain yogurt. So here I have Olympic Natural. It's just like some good, sturdy, plain yogurt. All right. So we're just going to be getting, oh, it's very mucky. So here's our half cup plain yogurt. Yeah, looks kind of gross. I'm not a big yogurt fan. Next up, we are going to be getting 4 cloves of minced garlic. So here we have
our garlic. How does one open a garlic? Like so. 1, 2, 3, there we go. Is where the muscles come in. So for those of you who don't know what a clove is,
a clove of garlic is what's inside the garlic. It's one of these. Just get rid of all that grossness. And now we start to dice. But first, you're going to want to crush it. So let me just see here. I got to show off this somehow. Mom, can you come film this real quick? So when cutting garlic, the first thing you're going to want to do is crush it. Knife over, nice smack down. Careful not to crush your finger. And then you can kind of take off the really thick layer of that gross old man skin that the garlic has on it. All right, so you just want to give it a little crush. A little crush, a little crush. Just bada bing, bada boom. All right, that's done. Next is the dicing. When dicing garlic, be careful not to cut off your fingers or your limbs because knives are sharp. So you're just gonna wanna cut that into little pieces, each one first, like this, like that, like that. And then you're just gonna wanna just keep dicing that. And then after that, you get a little faster. And as you progress through your cooking show, you can just really start going at it. And that's all there is to dicing. So get that into nice small chunks, really, really small, and you'll be done. What you want with your garlic, minced up nice and small. So you might be wondering, Bryce, what is next? All that's next is take your garlic and put that into the buttery base, just like so. Scoop it up with your knife, with your hands. It's really up to you. You can really get creative with how you put it into the bowl. I like to just use the knife, scrape it up, and just kind of like smack it in there. Get your fingers hopefully not too garlicky. And it'll be looking just like that. And that's all there is to that. Now we need some minced ginger. Now this is where most people get, dare I say, frazzled, okay? Because first of all, ginger is not an easy thing to deal with. It's stringy, it's odd, it's just kind of annoying in general. Who likes to cut ginger? I've never met anyone. But I've got a revolutionary trick that will change your life, my friends. All right? Take your ginger. You just stick it in the freezer. How long, you may ask? However long it takes to get it so it's like this. Nice and hard. All right? So you get that kind of gingery thing going. And now you might say, cutting it, what are you going to need? A chainsaw because it's so frozen. We're going to be doing 2 teaspoons. So take a look at this. Cheese grater. Frozen ginger. You get where I'm going with this? You take it and just start grating. you'll notice that your ginger is kind of in like a fine powder. So just get that. Oh, crap. I just put it in the yogurt. The wrong yogurt. Okay, it's going to be a little extra yogurty. You know, a prank. There's now ginger in the yogurt, which my brother eats. He's going to have a spicy bite of yogurt coming up soon. And so if you don't see me, call the police. You will maybe have murdered me. So that's about a teaspoon and a half. So we're going to need to just grate a little more. Easy, convenient, honestly a little bit fun. You could do your ginger just like that, and it's quite revolutionary. So that's your ginger for you. So ginger's a little spicy. It's a spice that comes from the Philippines. Those Filipinos like the ginger, and so do everybody else because it's good. All right. Next up, we have a little bit of this. It is called garam masala. Okay. So we're gonna need 2 teaspoons of this. Sort of a brown. It looks a little bit cinnamony. It smells horrible, but I think the people who made this know what they're doing. So there's 1 teaspoon. Sprinkle it in a little bit. You don't want to overdo it, so make sure you're accurate with all the spices. All right, there's that. 2nd teaspoon. Coming right up. Another one. And like I said, you're just kind of sprinkling that in nice and good, so it's easier to mix. You don't just want to dump it into one spot, because then it's tricky to mix. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. Next up is 1 teaspoon of this, turmeric. You can get all these spices at stores and whatnot. All right, if you can see that kind of orangey. Sprinkle that in. Perfect. Next up, that will be 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. All right, so cumin is a vegetable from the broccoli family. Oh, it smells even more awful than the other ones. Healthy stuff. Hopefully somebody's not pranking me, because this is kind of not super delightful smell. And one of the last spices is red chili powder. All right. Just kind of smells spicy. That's what it looks like. And all that is left is salt. I like to just use seasoning salt. I'm just gonna eyeball it, whatever. Just kind of put a little. It says a teaspoon, but who cares? I'd say that's, no, I'm gonna go with about that. I'm just guessing with the salt. Who cares? Maybe it's a little salty, maybe it's not enough. So that's all that's left for the sauce, the marinade. It looks a little bit like that. So now that your marinade's done, you're just going to give it a little bit of a mix. It doesn't look super appetizing, but I can assure you, I think it will be. It's very hard to mix with one hand, not to hold the bowl. But we're figuring it out. We're just kind of moving along as we go. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nice and good. Now, when cutting chicken, make sure to get yourself a separate, that's key word there, cutting sheet. I like to use a plastic one. They're easy to wash. After using chicken, bleach it, clean it, because when it's not cooked, if you eat any kind of raw chicken, it will kill you just dead in minutes. Chicken is the most deadly food. In some cultures, if you are suicidal, you just eat raw chicken. It's even faster than a gun. So just be super careful with your chicken, because, like I said, you wouldn't want to accidentally die or kill one of your beloved family members when they, cut up some nice celery on a cutting board, only to find out that it's poisoned with chicken. Ugh. Chicken thighs here, they look really gross and they feel even worse, I can assure you. And we're just cutting those up into bite-sized cubes, okay? So nothing too big, try and get them all around the same size. Yeah, it's not difficult. Just make sure, like I said, to clean your knife, clean your chicken, clean everything. Here we go. Those are about the bite-sized cubes. And so we are going to do, let me see, 5 chicken breasts is what the recipe calls for, but I'm going to do 6. Why? Because girls like bad boys, and bad boys like chicken. It's so gross. It's so gross. I'm not a big fan of raw meat feed. But, yeah. Ugh. All right, so now you've got your pile of slimy meat. What are you going to do now? Put it into the sauce. Just get it all in there. Ugh. Yikes. For the grossest part of our video, now that would be the hand tossing. So you're just going to get your hands. You will get dirty for this. Oh, it feels so bad. It feels so gross. Oh, jeez. Oh, it's very unsettling. Your hands will come out, really nasty. But that's all there is to it. Now, you want to put this in the fridge. All right? And just, you can cook it for, you got to put it in the fridge for over an hour. But the longer the better. If you let this marinate overnight, that is perfect. I'm actually going to let this marinate for about 3 hours. Ugh. Now this tastes. No, Bryce, don't do it. There's raw chicken in there. You know what? Live a little. You kind of. Spicy. Salty. It's actually not bad. Huh. Okay, now we obviously have got some time until the chicken marination is complete, so let's get started on the sauce, all right? So first of all, let me get the ingredients. Note to self, put sauce recipe here. All right, my friends, here's what we're gonna need for the sauce. Okay, so first of all, just gonna use a bowl. I like to use a nice big standard bowl. First up, 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil. So you just fill that sucker up. It's 1 teaspoon, nice and oily. And there is 2. All right. After that, you're gonna need 2 teaspoons. Again, you really only need 1 teaspoon for the whole thing, so just keep 1. So anyways, 2 teaspoons of butter or ghee. I have no idea what ghee is. It's Ghee, to be fairly honest. But if you have butter, use it. If you don't, don't. Those are butter, 1 teaspoon. Try to refrain from eating it. I know that some people love to eat butter, but because it is technically healthy for you as superfood, but still, doesn't make it right. So here's our other teaspoon of butter. Get that in there. And then we're also gonna need a 1/2 cup of onion, sliced, chopped, doesn't really matter. To quote the late great Shrek, ogres have layers and onions have layers. Ogres are like onions because they both have layers. So that's what Shrek said about onions. Shrek really loves onions, in case you're wondering. Maybe we should call this onion butter or Shrek butter chicken because Shrek, rest in peace, he likes it. Shrek was the first movie I've ever watched in theaters as a child. So Shrek is very dear to my heart. Michael Myers, who is the voice of Shrek, is dead. So let me just get a moment of silence for Shrek. Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate it. So here we have the onions. Now the recipe calls for a half cup of onion. Is that about poopa? So you know what? I just kind of use about like 1/3 of an onion. Let's just go, yeah, okay. There's our half cup onion. Add it to the bowl. And maybe I should cut these up a bit more. Now, you may notice that I'm not crying. I'm actually invincible to the effects that onions have on people. Onions do not make me cry. You may know this because I'm not a baby. So, note to self, if you're a baby, put on, I would suggest maybe snorkel goggles or regular goggles. Just make sure that there's no onion air getting into those goggles. You can get away with more onions if you pack it down. There you go. Let's get a boop. And now we're gonna need 3 cloves. Remember what a clove is? Of minced garlic. We're just gonna recut that back up. Is garlic a vegetable? That's what I'm wondering. A fruit? A seed? It's kind of like a turnip. This garlic's really doing a number on me. Now just throw that garlic in there. For those of you who are wondering if I'm actually crying. I am. Next up, 2 teaspoons of minced ginger. Don't forget my fancy trick. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, whatever it is. There we go. That's too much. Make sure your measurements are accurate. A little bit of ground cumin in there. What's next? Garam masala. Where did I put that garam masala? Only thing that's new is coriander, which is quite lovely. How much of that garam masala? Okay, I need another teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, and 2 of this garam masala. And then 1 teaspoon of chili powder, the red sauce, spiciness. I think that's it. Now we just need some salt. And once again, I'm just gonna freestyle this, freeball it. Seasoning salt, just kind of go with the flow. So now what we're gonna need is 2 cups of crushed tomatoes. Unfortunately, number one, I don't know exactly what a crushed tomato is, so I've just cut up some tomato and then like squished it. Because honestly, what the heck is that? Is there like specific, I don't know. So we got some flattened tomatoes. I only have about 1 cup. Mom has not bought fresh ingredients yet, but we're putting that in there anyways. Sad, but unfortunate, but whatever. We work with what we get. Now you're gonna need 2 cups of heavy cream. This can be whipping cream, some kind of cream that weighs kind of, it's like, you know, it's heavier than just like milk or whatever. Not whipped cream, whipping, okay? Or I have what this is, coconut milk. I find that coconut milk is delicious, goes really well with butter or curry chicken. So here's 1 cup into the thing, and I'll give you a little shot of the sauce. And there is 2 cups. So it would have been good to just put this whole can in. All right, so this is what it looks like. Now we're just gonna get all that goodness. Looks like a really tasty soup. So there's your sauce. All that's left is to wait a little bit for the chicken.
All right, here is time to cook. So, our chicken has been marinating for about, I want to say, about 2 hours. We got our pre-made sauce, which, if you look at the directions that I will insert, you're not actually supposed
to do. But anyways, here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a little thing called spatial chicken cooking. So we're just going to be browning the chicken. They're going to be nice and social distanced. You don't want them all crowded, bundled in there. You want to have a little bit of space between each chicken, so they can, have some of their own time to hang out, and they're not getting to know each other quite yet. They're just kind of chilling separately.
Maybe one more.
And then when these are done, we're going to be putting them into a bowl, which is on a warm. We're just getting these nice and crispy for now until we cook them in with the sauce later. And we're also going to be making a nice rice with this, because you're not just going to be eating this plain. You're going to be wanting to have, a nice side or something to put this delicious chicken on top of.
When you're funky with it, make some naan, and stay with me as I cook this. So once again, you're just kind of flipping them around, crisping up each side individually. You can get them flipped, and they're just nice and sizzling, and the aroma is very pleasant, I must say. So there you go. We'll work through this bowl, and that'll be it.
So here we are, we got chicken sizzling away. This is what I mean when I say that the chicken is browning up. It's not cooked all the way through, but rather it's just getting nice and crispy on one side. And there you can see, so you basically just want to do one side, flip it. You're basically kind of on medium heat, and you're searing both of the sides of the chicken with the medium heat. And if you feel as though your chicken's, getting a little too stuck to the pan or something like that, you can add a little bit of olive oil, which is what I'm about to do right here. And that way it's not killing your pan or anything like that. It's just kind of keeping it nice and lubricated. Okay, so I just got a slotted spoon here, and I'm just kind of getting rid of all that juices and whatnot, so I'm just going to add them in. Let's throw out some butter in here. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. You're just going to kind of get these all kind of cooking up together, get the flavors going, and, mix it up a little bit as you go. Just get all those different things cooking together. So now you're just going to kind of occasionally stir. Note, you do not want this to be crispy. You basically just want to get it until the onions are starting to clear up, not be white, sort of translucent. And at that point, you'll kind of notice all of that going on. Your sauce will be thickening up just nicely. And at that point, you're going to be adding your crushed tomato, which I have found some. Flashback, I did not have much before. I just cut up some tomato, which is fine. And then you're also going to add, unlike me, I'm going to add the sauce now. If you want to do it the way that the directions that I've posted are, that would be a lot better. But even so, both ways are still good, and it's not going to overall affect the way that your sauce is going to be made. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of this tomato. It's crushed tomato, and we've blended it up. Just kind of eyeballing the amount. Now we're just going to give it a little mix. You can really tell that now it's quite a sauce. It's a saucy pan. It's liquid, you know, it's no longer just some onions sizzling away. And you're gonna notice that this sauce will keep thickening and now you see the bubbling happening. Keep on stirring. We also got some rice about to be put on. Oh, it is coming along so magnificent. I love that face. It's hilarious. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Why is that even in the rice? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. So I've let this simmer for about 10 minutes. A great thing to wait while you're doing is to just enjoy a nice glass of milk. Well, now that that's 10 minutes is over, let's get down to business. We're now going to add our sauce. All of it, if I can get all of this saucy goodness out. And now for the boldest part of the video. See that sauce got a nice coloration, really creamy and good looking. We take the chicken, which smells absolutely riveting. There's some juice, which is probably fine, I hope. I'm just gonna get that goodness all in there. We're gonna mix it in first of all. Oh boy, yeesh, that looks good. Feeling hungry already. So we're gonna mix that all in, and then we're on a low heat, and we're gonna let that simmer for about 10 minutes. We're gonna just be mixing it occasionally, just to make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom or anything like that. So come back in 10 minutes, and we'll be pretty much ready to go.
You tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would.
All right, so thank you for joining me on another episode of Bryce's Cooking Show, a serious episode. Normally they're lighthearted and more goofy and fun, but it's nice to settle down with you and enjoy a nice tutorial that is a little more on the serious side. Oh boy, but look at this, eh? Just super, super good looking, nice and juicy. Chicken is tender. Add a little bit of that to the rice. If you want to make your own naan, I would definitely recommend it, and if not, you can buy it at the store, but it isn't going to be quite as good. But yeah, let's go in for the old taste test. But first, we need our little garnish. Mom, I know what cilantro is. This is some cilantro. Just gonna add a little bit on there. Since Mom doesn't think I know what cilantro is called, but it is. So there we have it. I'd like to give a special shout out to Save On Foods. Save On Foods. Save more, live better. And also my mom, Mrs. Trisha Roy.
Don't
Give
want
me
to be on
that.
the camera.
Hi, Mom. My wonderful mother has filmed this episode and helped me with the finer details of our butter chicken. All right, so here I have my rice with some naan. You know, just give it a try. It looks very hot, so hopefully I don't just destroy my taste buds with flammable heat. Now, credit to the culture of the Indian people because wow, that is good. Shout out to Nav Takar, my one Indian friend. They really know what's up. What do you guys think, family?
Delicious. Well done.
Family says good.
Make it again.
Make it again. There's the reference. Even the dog has come to try and get some food. Butter chicken's not for dogs. Sorry, Fergus. Anyways, thank you for joining me. I will see you next time.